Good morning, trading world. It is May 24th, 2022, and this is my pre-market outlook and technical analysis for day trading the SPY. Today's outlook. Let's get in line and follow big market cap stocks. As of right now, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Tesla will decide if there is a little more upside or whether we go back down. We're at one of those decision areas where we find out if there is enough order flow to hold the line. It looks to be a little room in Apple and Microsoft to tread water for a little while today while we wait for order flow to catch up. Big market caps treading water, it may be just enough to hold us from breaking to new lows, so we may continue to get teased a bit, but somehow holding the current range. Or this could become the start of the bounce that is building just under the surface. Right now, we're looking at a 10-day, 30-minute chart. And on this chart, I kind of have a range drawn out here. This is the top, well, this is a channel or a trend channel. And this is the top part of the trend channel, and this is the bottom part of the trend channel. And as you can see here, I have drawn a line. We've actually broken through overnight, but we have a very important areas I'm going to draw here. Let me get some drawing tools up here. All right. I guess I should zoom in a bit so that we can kind of see it here. Now that you see that this is the upper channel and down here we have the lower channel. I'm going to start down here around this 385 area because today this 385 area around here is going to be very important today. If we can hold that area, if we can hold support above this area, this may give us a start to snowball into some strength to get us to break through this area first, and then continue to break through the top of this channel. That's what I'm going to be looking for. As a matter of fact, if we're able to hold this 385, because I do see us kind of rolling over and coming back down and testing somewhere around this area, I may decide to put on a call spread or a couple call spreads around this area in looking for this bounce to happen. And it's just going to be something I'm going to do during the day. I don't really want to hold it overnight, or if I do, it's only going to be one, because obviously the risk is to the downside, but there is a rally building under the surface, and it's been kind of building for a while, and I'm starting to see signs where it's gaining a little strength. And I don't expect it to be long. It's going to be very sharp and quick. where we bust out for a day or maybe two. And it's going to be an excellent time to kind of renew short positions once we get that bounce. With that being said, let me get us to the key levels of the day, and we can kind of further see where this bounce, where it could possibly happen and possibly take us. All right, here we go with the key levels of the day. I'll try to be really quick with this because I'm running behind this morning. On the resistance side, Jack resistance starts at 393 to 394 area. Then we have the Queen resistance from 396 to the 398 area, and then King resistance 399 to 403 area. On the support side, we have Jack support at 391 down to the 390 area, Queen support 389 to the 388 area, and then King support 385 to the 382 area. Our thesis for today. The main thesis is bearish, closing below 396.92 with a projected target, a low of between 390 and 387. I should say 385. It should be 385, and I'll correct that right now. And our alternate thesis is bullish bias, closing above 396.92 with a projected target or high of between 397 and 403. The current channel we are in is 397 to 379. We will more than likely have to deal with a gap down in price and internals, making the start to today's market irrational and risky to the downside. But at some point, it will repair itself and hopefully hold on to the current channel range. And that's that 397 to 379. Things are still building under the surface for a very explosive bounce, which could lead to a 200 point or so rally on the S&P 500, which could come fast and could be soon. And it further supports my thoughts of not getting the real break until June. Therefore, we could continue a little bit in getting teased by price flirting with these lower levels, but not really breaking. Give me just a moment while I bring up the scenarios of the day. All right, the first scenario is our expansive range day structure. We could look to set a decision area low boundary around that 385, 386 area that I was talking about earlier, and around that Jack or Queen support area before we kind of get into rally mode, and taking us back up above the previous close represented by the blue line, and kind of retesting that before continuing higher. So that's the expansive range day structure, and it is symbolized by us crossing that previous close. Let me bring up the next scenario. Scenario number 2 could be looking at our rounded reversal day type structure. We could get a continued push higher toward the Queen or King resistance area and find midday chop around either that Queen or King resistance area before spending the same energy we used going up to come back down the second half of the day. Also, please forgive me, I usually keep the levels up, but somehow I hit the wrong button, and I'm kind of rushing through this, so I didn't have time to go back and redraw it. But we usually have the levels so you can kind of see or frame out today based on the levels. And let me do the let me bring up the last scenario. And here we are with the last scenario, which could be our trend day down structure. We start with a rally back toward the previous close. We find resistance on or before that previous close, then begin the downtrend for the morning. We find midday chop either around the possible queen or king support area. I need to correct that. All right, that's better. Let me start this one over again. The trend day down structure, we open gap down, start with a rally back toward the previous close. We find resistance on or before that previous close, then begin the downtrend for the morning. We find midday chop around either the possible queen or king support area. One of the things that I'm going to be looking for today, if we do get this trend day down, is at the end of the day a stronger than normal rally into the close. If I see something like that, that's going to kind of give me confidence that that expiration day, because usually when we have a bounce, the only reason I'm not really looking for it today, but I would look for it more so on a day like a Wednesday, is that expiration days tend to be more explosive because of the closing and rolling of positions. And it just gives us a little more edge of being able to be explosive, because a lot of positions are coming off the books or being rolled to another expiration. And that's going to be something to think about when the SPY and everything outside of the SPX start having those everyday expirations. I'm just imagining how that is going to work. But like I said, I'm going to be looking for a little more than normal rally into the close. Normally it may be like this, but we may be looking for a sharper rally into the close, kind of signifying a bounce getting underway for that expiration Wednesday. So that's what I'm looking for. It's building under the surface. I can't tell you whether it's going to be today, tomorrow, or next week, but I see it building under the surface. And the longer we keep playing with it and dropping back, the more pressure builds, and it kind of pops like a top, and we're going to go straight up. And it's going to be very quick, very volatile. It's going to take a lot of people by surprise. So on one hand, I just want to kind of sit and wait for it and renew my shorts. And, you know, the longer I kind of wait and look, I kind of want to take a small position, and that's all it would be, is small. I'm not risking a lot on the rally because I know where I want to be, and I want to be on the short side of this. So that's pretty much it. Again, please know and understand your risk. Like I said, if I do decide to play anything on the long side, it will be very small. Like that pocket change lottery ticket that you don't mind just throwing away money on, basically. So please know and understand your risk. Again, I hope this helps. and wishing you a positive trading day. Have a great one.